What is a brokered certificate of deposit?
A brokered certificate of deposit. So just quickly, a CD, what's what we call it, short term, is you give money to a bank for a certain period of time, 3 months, 6 months, a year, 3 years. You can do, there's a 5 years, and they pay you a certain fixed interest rate.
Hmm.
At the end of the term, they give you back your money. So if you put in 10,000, you get back 10,000, and you got that whatever interest rate during that
Yep.
period of time, right? So that's just how they work. So a brokered CD is just purchased through a brokerage. Why don't you tell them how that works? This is something Eason kind of
So
specializes in.
it's a brokerage, or it's just basically someone else other than the bank. And so the idea is that the bank wants to expand their reach and they want to sell their CDs to more people. And so the idea is, okay, we'll use a third party, someone else to sell it for. And so they sell it, and then, for example, Citizen Bank is out in Boston and they want to sell, CDs to everyone in the country. So they go to TD, and TD says, okay, sure, we'll sell them to our clientele, and then they buy the CD. And so the idea is, with a brokered CD, you can buy from multiple banks, keep it in the same account, and you still have that FDIC protection for your CDs.
Yeah, that's what's kind of cool. All of these CDs are available. We can look them up and see what rates they're offering. So it's kind of like a competitive leaderboard in a
Yeah.
way. Every one of those banks is FDIC insured, so every one of your deposits at every one of those banks has got the $250,000 protection. And you can get one statement with, say, $200,000 in each CD, so you're under the 250. You got four different banks on there, all coming through on one statement. And then, when they come due, you just find some more and you just keep them going. And, it's fairly simple as far
Yeah,
as that
the
goes.
one thing is, unlike a regular CD, you could have your CD just keep allocating. If you do a brokered CD, you have to
Yeah,
specify and
yeah.
redo that repurchase.
Yeah, you got to go back out. But one of the other weird things about a brokered CD versus a bank CD is the possible liquidity. So most bank CDs that I'm familiar with have liquidity. You can get out of them,
Yep.
but they usually charge you a penalty of some type. The most common penalty that I've seen is 3 months worth of interest. So, if you're in there for 6 months, you would lose half of that basically, because you lost 3 months worth of interest. With a brokered CD, you can sell them at any point in time. There's no problem with that. However, the value fluctuates day by day depending on what's happening with interest rates. So if you bought a 5% one and everybody now is getting 4% one, your 5% is actually appreciated in value. You could sell that and actually make money. Put in 10,000, you get back 10,100, or whatever it might be. However, it could be worth less also if the rates go the other way, and then you just wait for it to come due and you get back your 10,000. I'm making up the number 10,000. It could be any dollar amount. Probably should keep it under 250 in today's world. But nonetheless, that's the concept. And we've been getting a lot of interest in these, and we've set up quite a few of them. I think it's a neat way of handling. For those people who have more than 250 sitting in a bank right now. You might want to be a little bit careful with that here in this environment, in general, all the time.
Yeah, and another thing you can do, another thing to watch out for is callable and non-callable CDs. So a lot of times when you see brokered CDs, they'll have a little bit higher rates for callable CDs. Essentially, a callable CD is, the bank says, I don't want to pay this interest rate anymore, so I'm just going to say I'm going to pay out whatever you have to pay out, and the CD is gone now.
Yeah, that's right. There's usually a little bit of a premium on the callable, like you said. So, yeah, it's a lot like a bond. Basically, it's just through a bank, and as a matter of fact, the same mechanisms that a bond reacts to, a CD react to. It's very fascinating, and you got the FDIC insurance on top of that. So it's it's kind of a neat bond in that regards, as far as that goes. So, yeah, great question. Great question.
It just allows you to reach a little bit further than your normal pool of banks that you would have in your local area.
Yep.